weeks is all it takes. That is the average lifespan of the black soldier fly. I'm here at Arc Entotech in New South Wales on the Central Coast. What they can achieve in their short lifespan is unbelievable. We're going to look at how these black soldier flies are the hero of the insect world. The black soldier fly, a sustainable future. Ricky, thank you so much again. We have had the most amazing day and again, mind-blowing. The black soldier fly really is the hero. How did you get into this farming and the breeding of the black soldier fly?
Well, anyway, thank you for coming and seeing the farm. I started with the soldier flies out of necessity, really. Coming from a poor country, the Philippines, I saw that there was a need to do things differently. And I saw the opportunity in the soldier fly as something that could actually make a difference. What we do here is we basically use the power of nature, and in this case the soldier fly's eating capacity, to consume waste. And while it's consuming the waste that we would normally just throw away, it's giving us a number of byproducts which can benefit a lot of different industries and benefit society as a whole.
And I love the byproducts, and we're going to touch on that in a minute. But what I'm so fascinated about is the black soldier fly. It's almost like we can reverse what we've done with our landfill.
I'm confident that within the next 2 years we'll be able to end all landfills. We're from a society that throws everything away, and hopefully with the help of the soldier flies we can actually recover everything that we throw away. We can tailor a fly to eat a certain type of waste, for example, and the flies can get used to eating that waste over many generations, but that many generations is actually just a few months. The reason why the concept works, particularly in landfill, is the landfill contains a lot of edible waste that people throw away. And the black soldier fly is really nature's natural recycler. And we're using its ability to eat to help fix the problem that we've created in landfill. So to give you an idea of why it works, is every gram of black soldier fly egg contains about 40,000 larvae. That's 40,000 eaters. Now each gram will produce 2 kilos of larvae, and each kilo of larvae will eat 10 kilos of food. So you can already do the math there and you see how efficiently they can eat everything that we're throwing away. So in this case, this was a cow that died here, and the entire cow, except for the head and the skin, was consumed by the soldier flies. So this would have been about 600 kilos of cow, and it's now fertilizer.
And how many days was that?
It took 4 days to make this appear.
It's a eating machine, but it's all natural, and I love that, because it's eating everything that we're throwing away, and there's a solution. What's the solution? Is it because they eat so much so quickly?
Within the 10 days of life that we culture them for, the black soldier fly will grow 15,000 times its original size. So to sustain that growth, we need the waste, which we're actually throwing away, the food. So just to give you an idea of what we're talking about here, the larvae are born almost microscopic, and they grow to their adult size, which is a little over a centimeter, within that 10-day period. And that's the equivalent of a human baby growing to the size of a whale in 10 days. So in order to make you grow to the size of the whale, can you imagine the amount of food that you'd have to eat to sustain that growth?
That again is the magic of it all, because they really are chewing through all the waste and turning that over, and that's why it's sustainable.
That's right.
So let's talk about the byproducts of what the soldier flies end up leaving behind.
We basically have 2 products that come out of growing soldier flies. One of them is frass. Now, frass is what's known as insect manure. It can be caterpillar frass, it can be cockroach manure, but in this case we use the black soldier flies manure. It just turns out that because of the variety of the foods that the flies eat, that the frass comes out to be a fantastic fertilizer for almost all plants that we've tried growing. It's got a well-balanced blend of nutrients that has fantastic results with plants. Now, the other thing that we found is what's contained in soldier fly frass is the exoskeletons, the shells of the frass. Every time they grow, they lose their skins, and those skins affect the plant in a certain way where it actually stimulates the plants to grow.
If you could expand on that, because I think that's another amazing thing that nature does just naturally.
What I believe, it's still being proven, but we've seen it here, the plants detect the presence of the frass in the soil and react. So the plants believe that they're under attack, and in order to counter the attack, they grow, or they might do some things like thicken their cells walls in order to protect themselves from the impending attack. And in this case, the attack never comes, so you just get a bigger, healthier plant.
And that's just coming from the fertilizer, the frass fertilizer, and it's like a pseudo attack. Yeah. And that's what the tree is thinking, so it goes into growth mode.
Another reaction that we see from the insects surrounding the plants is the plants themselves have less insect attack once we use frass as the fertilizer.
So
if you look at the plants here, there's less caterpillar attack, we have less snail damage, and we don't use pesticides and insecticides in the property.
For future farmers and regenerative farming practices, products like this are really going to be a game changer for primary industries.
Definitely. I think the more we understand about what we're using now and what we can make, the better understanding we'll have generally on how to improve how we do things. I've been doing this for over 15 years now, and every day we learn more and more. And I think as more and more people get into insect farming, the more minds that get behind it, the more we can unlock some of the secrets that are still hidden from us and improve everything that we're doing. So all around the world, people are growing flies, growing a lot of different insects. Here at the farm, we grow a number of different insects like cockroaches and superworms. But when we have more people thinking along the same lines and thinking of solutions, we can come up with better and better ways of doing things.
We spoke about this earlier. You're not an entomologist, and you weren't really into the science of insects. Your background is completely different, and here you are today.
My background is aquaculture, but there's not actually much of a difference with aquaculture and growing insects. So basically insects are land arthropods, and prawns and crabs are marine arthropods. So for some reason we, as people, like the ones that come from the sea and we love to eat them, and we hate the ones that come on the land, and we spend a fortune on insect sprays and trying to kill them. But they're basically a very similar animal. What we've discovered here is you don't actually have to know what you're doing before you started. There wasn't a rule book on how to grow flies when we started.
Yes.
In fact, the only information that you could find was that it was impossible to do. But just by trying, we were able to find that it is possible, and it's just a matter of finding the way to do it. So my advice to future entomologists out there, or in any avenue that they want to study, it's just about trying and trying to find solutions until you get the answers.
The black soldier fly, clearly a hero in my eyes today. Thank you to your team and yourself here at Ark Entotech. We've had a wonderful day, and we can see a really sustainable future coming our way.
Yeah, well, thank you for coming and filming all of this, and hopefully you can show people what's happening and the hope for the future.
So So where did your passion for insects come from?
So it started at a very early age, and then I decided later on in my life to apply to university, and that's where the passion got fueled even further, and I learned that insects are the foundation of the ecosystem, and here we are.
We're here in the beautiful swamp gardens with Marin. What's your role here?
So I'm the education manager, and I'm in charge of creating the education programs to bring schools to our facility and educate them about sustainability and ways for them to get involved. So we want to give children the tools how they can tackle sustainability themselves from a very young age up until university level as well.
I love this place, there's so much to learn. Is there any other community organisations that you work with?
Yeah, so we're actually working together with Swamp and Feedback Organic, and we actually do joint we do joint tours here, so both for like education and corporate, and also for the general public, so everyone's invited and able to get involved. So we make sure that we cover the topic of the black soldier flies and how we break down food and bring it to the facility, which is something that Feedback is involved with, and how Swamp uses the frass that we get from the black soldier flies and converts it into all the beautiful produce. So that way they can see how they are applying our product and how we can actually implement circular economy.
And I love that because these gardens are thriving, and with the volunteers coming in, they have that opportunity to work to a common goal of sowing, looking after, harvesting, and helping out other community members.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a fantastic way. Like anyone is welcome to join Swamp and help with, even just come here to this garden, which is a wonderful opportunity because it's very wholesome. You feel like you're part of something and you're doing something good for the planet as well, because you're using sustainable products.